Welcome, everybody, back to another episode of Wire2Wire Sports Podcast. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzek, and in the upper left corner, we got Papa Cutthroat. What's
Gents,
up, Daddy?
Feels good to be back. Felt like only being a week gone. Got to see the show last week still, but it feels good to be back for sure.
In the upper right corner, Uncle Shally, Scholastic Shally, Mr. William Shallcross.
Gentlemen, happy Wednesday.
You're in a different spot today, too. It's like weird. The backgrounds for both you guys are just not what I'm used to.
I'm on location.
Okay, well, on location works. I'm ready to rock and roll. We got a lot to get into. Control, I will not steal your thunder anymore. I will allow you to continue to run the hot wire as I share everything out to everyone. If you're listening in the chat, share us out. Be a fella. Be a mensch. Be an old pal.
Mensch, great word.
Do that stuff.
All right. Well, with that said, go ahead and get started. We had some news. We had coaches leaving, front offices changing, players leaving. I mean, it's been a lot of leaving this week. So I feel like the biggest news stories is like right away here, go to Dallas with Nico Harrison. GM of the Dallas Mavericks has been fired. Ultimately was fired on Tuesday. And this comes 9 months after he traded away Luka Doncic to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis in a first-round draft pick. So for me, I definitely wanted to throw this in here. And the new report that I just most recently seen is that if you don't know, Anthony Davis has missed the beginning of the season so far with a calf injury. And with the Mavericks starting out the season, I believe 3-8, he's been trying to put it in Anthony Davis's ear to start to come back. And team doctors advise that if he comes back too early, we could be looking at a potential Achilles injury. And it feels like that was the straw that broke the camel's back with, Nico trying to push that agenda there. So wanted to get your guys' thoughts and reactions to the news of Nico being fired. And, was it the right move, or do you have any defense for it or anything like that? And just really go from there.
I don't have any. I don't think that's the reason he got fired. If I'm being completely transparent with you, I think the reason he got fired was because the fans at the game the other night, when Cooper Flagg had his best night of the season, were yelling "Fire Nico," and he got fired the next day. I think Klay Thompson has been yelling at the front office saying, "I took less money to come here to play with Luka, and you traded him." And I think that after everything's said and done, I think it's a whole whirlwind. Look at what's happening with Quentin Grimes in Philadelphia. He traded Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin. Caleb Martin's getting him 6 points. Quentin Grimes is in Philadelphia winning basketball games. I think it's a whole mix of Luka, Klay being washed. I mean, Klay should retire from basketball. Enjoy your life with Megan Thee Stallion. Do all that jazz because you can't play ball anymore, bro. He's been terrible. I think it's a mixture.
I think Gene's on the right track. I would take it one step further and kind of make it full circle to what Cottrell said. I think it was you add all these things up, and it gave Dallas ownership to crack the door open to get rid of him. I think a lot of people wanted to do this for a while, and then, like Gene said, slow start. Anthony Davis hurt. Shocker. Klay being gone. Like, you add it all together, and it was like, you know what? Bang. There's our excuse to get rid of him. And it was, and not to – I mean, first and foremost, obviously, the Luka trade. But I think it just finally gave them, enough leeway to be like, you know what? We can make this, not have any kind of backlash. And they just made the move. So, because, again, and even if Anthony Davis is playing, I don't know what the expectations are for that team this year. And I think that's part of the problem too. You went out and get Cooper Flagg, and your team's going to stink. But I think you add all of it together, perfect storm, perfect recipe. Just be like, you know what, we're done with them. Let's get them out of here.
So, Control, before you go, I think a lot of people forget that Neek was the one that let Jalen Brunson walk. It's a whole plethora of bad moves. Nico is the greatest GM in the entire NBA if you're the other 31 basketball teams. But for the Dallas Mavericks, they have to look at that. Oh, there's Jalen Brunson. He used to be a Mav. Oh, he's winning Clutch Player of the Year. Oh, there's Quentin Grimes. He used to be a Mav. Oh, he's going to win Sixth Man of the Year. Oh, look, there's Luka Doncic. He used to be a Mav. Oh, he might win MVP.
Mm.
So it's Control. What part of that? Like, he's been a terrible GM. If I was that bad at my job, I wouldn't have my job. He's terrible.
So you're right, but I think the one thing that kind of confuses me though is that one, I don't think this Luka deal could have got done on its own. Like I feel like somebody had to give the okay on it. Like
we talked about that this morning.
That's a move that I feel like you have to run by the owner. I know it's not Cuban anymore, but you got to run by the new owner. You got to say, hey, I believe this is what's going to make us a better basketball team in the long term. I know people are going to be pissed about it, but I think this is something that is going to make us better. And you have to sell a organization on that. And apparently that's what he did, because they ultimately made the move to get Luka traded. So I think, of course, you see the press conferences afterwards, like after the trade, and Jason Kidd's basically like, yeah, I had nothing to do with this. So if this goes south, like, don't put me in it because I never signed off on it, but got to play the hand I was dealt, essentially. So I almost feel like at this point, you don't want to compound your mistakes, because clearly trading away Luka Doncic was a mistake. We knew that the moment it happened. But with that said, if you felt like he had a vision to make this team better, like Kyrie was hurt, at last season. So we knew the Mavs weren't going to have Kyrie to start the season. Obviously, they get Cooper Flag. He's a rookie now. Anthony Davis hasn't played. So, like, it's 11 games in, but we really don't even know what this Mavs team could have potentially been. Yes, they're 3-8 right now, but who would expect the Mavs team to be good with Anthony Davis in street clothes? Kyrie Irving's not going to be anywhere close to being back until maybe earliest of February, and Cooper Flag's in this 11th game at this point. So I just don't understand the timing of everything.
Anthony Davis's nickname is street clothes. The guy's always in street clothes. When you trade for him, what reminds me of? Do you remember? It's a great movie to me. Maybe I'm the only one that thinks it's a great movie. But the movie where Bo Gentry, he's the baseball player, and who's the old guy that goes down to watch him play baseball? I don't know why I'm missing. They find
talking about
Trouble with the Curve.
Trouble with the Curve, right? I feel like this is the movie of he's the GM. He's like, no, we gotta sign Bo Gentry. But they said he's got trouble with the curve. No. If he's not good, you fire me. I'm sure about this. And then they find out that the Peanut Boy struck him out, like he was the guy, and Bo Gentry was not the guy. I feel like that's what they did with they traded Luka Doncic, because he's like, trust me. If this doesn't work out, you fire me.
But that's
and then the Mavs organization said, sure.
We don't know if it hasn't. I mean, obviously, we know that Luka's the better player, and we knew it was a bad deal to begin with. But what I'm saying is, when you traded for Anthony Davis, where you sold everybody on Anthony Davis is going to come in, he's going to put us in a better position moving forward here. You knew there was going to be a possibility of him getting hurt. So 11 games in, him being hurt, Kyrie still not being in the lineup. And again, Cooper's only 11 games in at this point. You knew that the Mavs were not, I mean, if I had a crystal ball, I could have told you guys the Mavs weren't going to start off the season hot. Like, it just wasn't going to happen.
But Control, the problem that you're missing is this, right? Was letting Jalen Brunson walk in free agency a good move or a bad move?
It was a bad move. It was a bad move before the Luka trade.
Trading Quentin Grimes for Caleb Martin, good move or bad move?
I mean, overall, bad move.
Signing Klay Thompson, good move or bad move?
It's been a bad move.
He gave him a bad move. His legs are gone. Bad move, right?
It's been a bad move, absolutely.
It's not just the Luka trade. This guy stinks.
But what I'm saying is this. I remember, and I'm not defending Nico here. I thought he should have been fired after the trade happened. Like, as soon as you get a guy that says that it should have happened, like, he wants to go through with that trade. I'm like, he clearly can't do his job. But my point is that people had conversations about, all right, like, yes, Luka is a, generational talent essentially. But if you really think about it, you get Flag, you get Davis, you have like a combination of this Mavs roster. In terms of winning a championship, do you think as a whole they are closer or farther away than they were with Luka? And there were people that were arguing that they felt like if everything goes the right way, they were in a better position with Anthony Davis than they were with Luka because of the roster construction. So I'm saying that 11 games in now.
If everybody's healthy, you're not wrong. That's not a wrong statement to say, but it's risky. And it wasn't risky to keep the generational player that was on your roster.
It is risky, but what I'm saying though is like Kyrie's been hurt. Like Kyrie's been hurt for a while. Like we knew Kyrie wasn't playing early on in the season. Anthony Davis being hurt, maybe we didn't know he was going to be hurt right now, like this early, but we knew that's a strong possibility. You knew that when you traded for him. So if the owners say it's okay, I just feel like at this point, Nico's kind of getting scapegoated because everybody is just attacking him because it was a bad trade. Don't get me wrong. But in reality, there's more people. There's no way Nico woke up one morning and said, I'm going to trade Luka for AD and got the okay and didn't get the okay from anybody, just made the deal, and they are where they are right now. And there's no way the Mavs thought they were going to succeed early on in this season with that roster as constructed, especially knowing the injury with Kyrie. Like, you don't bring in D'Angelo Russell and see how Clay played last year and think that that team is going to be competitive from day one when Cooper Flag's essentially going to be the best player on the floor for your team as a rookie.
You're not wrong. Let's move. We got to move.
All right, so
enough of our attention.
Nico got fired, but he was not the only one to get fired this week. New York Giants made the decision after a loss this past week to the Chicago Bears, where the Bears came back, I believe it was from 18 down, to go ahead and fire Brian Dable. Middle of the season firing here. I will say, just me going here real quick, that I was surprised by this one, not because he didn't deserve to be fired, but I almost thought that with Jackson Dart playing the way that he had been playing, since he's taken over that starting role, that they may give him a longer leash to see how the season finishes out. I know from the beginning it was a playoffs or bust kind of mindset with this Giants team, but if Jackson Dart was showing promise, and it seems like, he could have potentially been the guy in Dable's system, I was kind of surprised to see that they ultimately let him go in the middle of the season here. But wanted to get your guys' thoughts and reactions to Brian Dable getting the boot here mid-season.
Riley is 100% accurate. Sky, you want to go first on this one? Because I got a little bit of a soliloquy.
Soliloquy. Yeah, I mean, listen, I think the way in which they're losing is what ultimately put the nail in the coffin for him. I think Riley's right. I think if they're losing close games, but they're not blowing leads, I think the Denver one was just unforgivable a couple weeks ago. But to Cottrell's point, which I kind of agree on as well, I mean, I think we were a little bit surprised that he got another year this year. I wouldn't have been shocked if he got fired last year. So at that point, you give him this year. You realize right away that Russell was a mistake again. You lose your best player, Malik Neighbors. Cam Scatteraboo looks like he's going to be a revelation for the offense. He gets hurt. And the guys are still battling. You're blowing leads. He's not the DC. I think Brian Dable
ran the DC out of town. He ran the DC out of town.
I get it, and that was his decision. And again, I think that was to take a little bit of heat off himself. And you're not wrong. I'll put it this way: I think Brian Dable's a really good coach. I think Brian Dable will be a good head coach in a different situation. I think we all knew the Giants' job was kind of a dumpster fire from the get-go. How Joe Schoen is going to skate by yet again is beyond me. I don't think the Jackson Dart pick washes away everything he's done.
All right.
But I think Brian Dable will show up on a sideline next year, or at the very least be an OC again. I'd hire him. But
The Eagles, I hire him right now.
facts.
I fire my OC and hire him right now.
Well, you don't fire your OC. You bring him in as a offense, like a consultant or whatever. And
I moved the OC and back to where it used to be.
You can't do that because as soon as you do that, everybody with a brain in the building can read between the lines at that point anyway. So it's like that's going to be the guy. Like just make the cut nice and clean. Don't sit there and let it bleed out. But again, I don't think he has a ton to really fall back on and be like maybe necessarily really be able to fight or argue for his job. But at the same time, I think Joe Schoen sucks. I think he was put in a bad situation from the get-go. I think it was a bad job to take. I think the Giants organizationally, from ownership down, are not really sound right now. I think the last couple of weeks, as much promise as they showed in certain areas, even with the injuries, to continuously be blowing fourth quarter leads and losing games which they should win. I think ultimately that makes it really hard to argue and really make a really strong case.
Well, bad organizations do bad things. And the Giants are a bad organization. And here's the thing, right? If you're going to let him draft the quarterback, if you're going to let him develop the quarterback and then fire him 10 games into the season of the new quarterback, who, by the way, is, I don't know, help me understand, is he not favored to win Offensive Rookie of the Year? He just took the lead over Emeka Ibuka, which is crazy, by the way. Ibuka should be your favorite. But he was the favorite to win Rookie of the Year. If you draft a quarterback in the first round and he's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, you shouldn't fire the head coach. You should have fired him last year. You should have fired him when he ran Wink Martindale. By the way, how's Wink Martindale working out as a DC for Michigan?
Pretty damn good.
He's a great DC. He's been a great DC his whole career. But Brian Dable had to blow his top and yell at him and piss him off. And those two mutually parted ways. That's Brian Dable's fault. That's not the organization. That's Brian Dable's fault. You had a guy. You know what's so great about finding lifers? Wink Martindale never wanted to be a head coach. He's a DC. Vic Fangio never wanted to be a head coach. He's a DC. Finding really lifers like Jim Johnson for Philadelphia, those are so valuable that you just hold on to them and you let him run that side of the football.
That's a great point.
He ran Wink Martindale out of town. He's blown a bunch of fourth quarter leads, but you elected him to draft your quarterback. The problem now remains is the next guy you bring in. I didn't draft Jackson Dart. I didn't do this. And we see it time and time again. It's like a record that keeps repeating itself. Coaches that just skate. I'm going to give you the next one. Just give you a heads up. Liam Cullen is going to make the move on Trevor Lawrence and say, I didn't draft him. That's going to happen. It's going to happen soon.
Didn't they just extend him?
They did.
Yeah,
a year and a half ago. That doesn't matter in the NFL.
Doesn't. Kyler just recently got an extension too, and he's going to be on his way out the door. And
Kyler's a different story, but yeah, true.
But I mean, ultimately though, I think with Dable, again, he hasn't necessarily done anything to warrant me, pounding the table to keep his job there. But Gene, to your point though, with the success that Jackson Dart is having, like, I almost feel like by firing him, like, this is an opportunity to potentially stunt his growth. You know what I mean? Like, there was no bigger Jackson Dart fan than Brian Dable. Like, you saw the energy on the sidelines. Whenever he went to the blue tent, he's like, all right, when can I get my quarterback back on the field? When him and Scatterbull were going crazy in different games, you saw the energy on the sidelines all the time there. So I feel like this is something that could potentially kill Jackson Dart's confidence. Obviously, he's going through the concussion right now, so he's not going to probably play this week anyway. But I just feel like this is such a bad move to put a rookie quarterback in this situation. If you want to fire him after the season, fine, I get it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can at least understand it. But right now, you're telling a rookie quarterback, hey, we're going to potentially have to learn a new scheme for the last 6 weeks of the season here of your rookie year, where coming into the
offensive coordinator, the offensive coordinators there, that's not going to change.
I get it, but what I'm saying is you have a new interim coach now. Like, this was Brian. You could tell that was Brian Dable's offense. Like Brian Dable is the offensive mind. So if the OC, like, yes, he was the OC for Brian Dable, but if he's like, hey, I have my own playbook, I have my own identity. Now I'm going to have free reign of this. It could be a completely different ball game there. Or like he may be trying to make his case to, stay on with the Giants moving forward there. I don't think they hire on in-house, but he may be trying to audition and show that he can still get it done there as well. But ultimately, though, for me, I do think it starts at the top, though. Ownership has obviously not been great there. And then from the GM side of things, I'm with you, Bill. I don't think there's any way you can let picks of Scatterboo and Jackson Dart change how you look at this Giants team when you let Saquon walk for the same amount of money that you're paying Darius Slayton, where you let Xavier McKinney walk and he goes to Green Bay and now he's still an all-pro caliber safety. I think some of these things are just inexcusable there, and they absolutely just if you get rid of Dable, I think you need to absolutely clear house and try and figure it back out.
He's the search for the new head coach. How the hell does that happen?
That's what I mean. I'll take it another step. If I'm a head coach, I don't want to after watching and seeing everything that we saw behind the scenes, actually seeing the conversations, seeing the words come out of that guy's mouth about Saquon, and not that big a deal. We'll just figure it out. We'll just
get Devin Singletary.
Yeah,
Devin Singletary's just as good.
Yeah,
$3 million, same production.
After seeing that, there is no way in hell, to Gene's point, that I am partnering myself, or if I'm going to be a first-time head coach, putting my only possible chance to do that profession and have success, and pairing it with a guy who evaluates talent that way. There's no way.
There's a real selling point, Charlie. The selling point is New York. I already know who they're hiring as head coach next year. I already know it.
Who you think?
I know it. I already have the red button.
Let's Gene Stradamus this. Let's go. Who's it going to be?
100%. He was in the final wave of interviews. He interviewed for them twice when Brian Dable got hired. It's finally time for Brian Flores to have his next.
Why? He might as well go back to Miami. It's like the same front office.
No. John Mara is not the same owner that jerk off in Miami is Stephen Flores. They're not the same guy. John Mara is a good human being. He might be bad at making decisions, but he's a good person. I'm telling you.
He could be a good person, but if he makes bad decisions, that trickles down to making a bad football team.
But the reason Flores didn't work out in Miami was he didn't want Tua. They gave him Tua, and then they tried getting him into some Ponzi scheme to get Brady there. And he's like, dude, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not doing that shit. And then they fired him because he wouldn't toe the company line. John Mara's never stepped in to not allow his coach to actually coach. He's actually, if we're being honest, he's given his coaches too much time.
Yeah.
My point being, again, I don't think he's a bad person, but
it's not going to be Lane Kiffin, Riley. Sorry.
Nah, Lane Kiffin's going to stay in college.
Lane Kiffin in Florida.
Yep.
Or LSU.
It's funny they play Florida Saturday. But I don't know. I mean, again, Mara is definitely the lesser of the two evils by far, by a million miles. There's no way I'm taking that job if Schoen's still there. They're just done. And to your point, does Brian Flores want to start over with Jackson Dart? Is that because here's the thing to put that in perspective for you?
More of a football player than Tua.
Okay, but Tua's numbers are still what they are. My point being this, and I'm giving us all credit for this. We've banged our chest for this guy for years since we started doing this show. You see how long it's taken him to get a second chance. If he gets his second chance and falls flat on his face with Jackson Dart, he's probably not going to get a third. So that has to go into his thinking. That's just the reality of the situation and reality of the way the NFL is. To think he's going to go there for 3 or 4 years and fail, and then some other job coming open and be like, you know what, we'll give him a third chance. That's probably not going to be the case. I just don't I don't know if Jackson's the guy I'm risking my livelihood on.
The current betting favorite. Anybody want to guess?
Oh boy. Bill Belichick.
Nope.
Damn it.
Want to take a guess, Kittrell?
I don't know.
The current betting favorite for the next head coach of the New York Giants is Mike McCarthy.
No way.
You think I'm kidding? I'm not kidding.
Oh no, I believe you. That is no thanks.
So the one last thing here that I definitely wanted to just, I guess, get at here for Brian Dable, what do you think is potentially next? Obviously, I think Joe Brady is going to get some interviews for being a potential head coach. Maybe he potentially goes back to college with LSU having that opening there. Do you think Dable is just going to hold out for the best possible OC job? Do you think he's going to potentially have, some team calling for him to be a head coach, even if it's at a team that's in a bad position? Like, what do you think's next for Brian Dable, real quick?
He's no less than an OC next year.
He'll be an OC next year. He might be the OC to Buffalo Bills next year.
Yeah, Brady leaves, true.
I can 100% see him go coach LSU, and then Brian Dable goes back, and it's like fit the glove.
Yep, that's kind of what I'm thinking there, especially knowing that. I mean, I know Allen won MVP with Brady, but I feel like Brian Dable was really the guy who got Josh Allen to turn the corner.
100%.
Yep, agreed.
Let's go into the quitter. I mean, the next one.
Oh.
All right, last one here. I know this one hits a little close to home. I know you guys were excited about the trade when it happened, but Jair Alexander, recently acquired from the Baltimore Ravens, has decided to take some time away from football to focus on his physical and mental health. With it being a Philly trade, with Jair Alexander being just a couple years removed from being a all-pro caliber corner, definitely had to bring this one up as well and get your guys' thoughts and reactions to it. And just based on Gene's little quick comment there, it sounds like I know where he's headed.
We're the most dysfunctional organization at 7-2 in the history of the world. Like, it's insane. He came here, he did an interview on Wednesday, and they asked him about his knee, and he goes, I feel better than I've ever felt. He's about to go play his old team in Green Bay because I'm ready. I'm fired up. Rest the guy. Have him go and dress. They tell him he's going to stay back, rehab his knee. His knee's not good. That's interesting because he just told us Wednesday his knee was great. He's got to learn the playbook a little bit more. Okay, that makes sense. Let him travel with the team versus his old team. Nope, he's staying back in Philly. And, we're just going to, and then all of a sudden, he's got to work on his mental health and his physical health. He didn't get what he wants. He's another one of them crybabies. Oh, I wanted to play. It's going to happen, 100%. I don't know. Maybe when we look at this, we go, okay, he's just really not mentally fit to be on the team, and he's just not all there right now. Okay, I can hear that. We'll find out with the fifth 30 for 30 of going through Philadelphia, which Markelle Fultz, Ben Simmons, we're gonna get the AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, what really happened, and now Jair Alexander. Like we got all these 30 for 30s coming. I'm waiting for them.
Not so sunny in Philadelphia.
Not so sunny in Philadelphia.
I agree with Gene in that the timing of it is very suspect after the comments he made Wednesday. So that leads me to believe there's a disconnect either between him, what was told to him, or what, the game plan for him was going to be, or something between Wednesday and Sunday, genuinely happened off the field. I think it's, I know we're poking fun at it, but at the same time, if it is something serious, it's something I think we would all agree that we wouldn't, joke around about. So, like Gene said, when, the 30 for 30s all come out and it's a week straight on ESPN debuts on Thursday nights, it'll be a must watch for all of us Eagles fans.
Which one are you more interested in? The Markelle Fultz one, how he lost his jump shot, the Ben Simmons one, or the AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts saga? Like, which one are you most interested in watching?
I'm I have no desire to watch the Ben Simmons one. I think we all just know what that is.
That would be the best one. I just don't think he would actually do the interviews.
No,
like it'd be everybody else talking. Like it'd be Joel talking. It'd be Doc talking. Like that one would be phenomenal.
He said, "What's the guy's name? He had a triple double for the Sixers the other night. His first ever start. He's local. I don't know why I'm drawing.
Justin Edwards.
No, I love Justin Edwards. I would not forget Justin Edwards' name. I'll get his name right now. But he had a triple double the other night, and he had a really good night. Trendon Watford. He had a great night for the Sixers, and they asked Joel Embiid about how the night he goes, it looked a lot like Ben Simmons. We missed that. Like he was doing everything. I'm like, wow, where the hell did that come from? Everybody keeps saying the Ben Simmons one.
I'm telling you, that one is going to be
the reason I don't say Ben is I say this. Like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not going to learn anything in the Ben one. I think it'll be entertaining. I think, to your point, I think if you get people on camera to really talk about him honestly, I think that's going to be funny as shit. To see like what really people in the building really thought and how his teammates felt. I think that would be entertaining as hell. But again, I don't know how much we're really going to learn about Ben that we don't already know. Like for me, honestly, it's probably the AJ Jalen one. Like, to find out what it really is, to find out what this crazy riff is, and then for them still to be successful and go out and win and everything else, and then have the people from that locker room talk about it. That would be the most interesting to me, because I feel like I'd be learning, like, I'd be like, okay, like, what was this finally all about? Like, actually hear something about it. I don't care about Fultz. He wasn't here long enough for it to matter. The Ben one I kind of get. I don't even know what the hell the other one was. But
I think you can kind of – you might be able to throw all of them in. You might be able to throw all of them in together, though. You might be able to throw Markelle and Ben together and just call it, not trusting the process or something along the lines of that.
If anything, I'd throw Ben and JoJo in the same one.
But ultimately, though,
my favorite comment about that, I'm sorry, we're getting off the topic. My favorite comment was from, I don't know if he's still a current Cav, but he was a Cav last year, was George Niang, when he's talking about when he met Ben Simmons. Did you hear his interview on that? It's amazing.
No. What did he say?
So when he met Ben Simmons, he's like, I was so excited. I'm a shooter. I'm on like Ben is the perfect player for me to play with. He drives the lane, he dishes. Like, this is a contract year for me. Like, I was so excited to play for him. And they're giving us rules of like what to do when he comes in the building. Like,
what?
Talking to anybody. Yeah, they said, you got to make him feel welcome. You got to make him feel like he's part of the team. George's like, man, I'm trying to be friends with him. He straight ignores me. Doesn't say a word. I wanted him to play more than anyone. And you could tell he just didn't want to be there, and he just ignored me. It was hilarious. And then when they got a chance to play against each other, George just threw an elbow at him. He's like, I could not wait to foul him. I could not wait to hit him in a game.
That's awesome.
It's a great interview. Could do a full process one, bring all the first rounders, Hinkie, the coaches. That'd be great.
Elton Brand.
See, I think that's more. If you did it all together, because I will tell you this, there's still a lot of people that won't talk about JoJo. If you did it all together and got people to go on record about that would be, because I think we're probably towards AI level of shit that goes on behind the scenes with JoJo that we don't know about. So I would be all in if you did it all together.
The funny thing to me is, and I don't mean that, I'm not re-sparking this. I learned my lesson. I'm not talking about this with you again. But the funny thing to me is,
cordial last week.
You are so.
We had a great show last week.
You are so like adamant that you know that there's behind the scenes shit with Joel Embiid, and he's this and he's that. But like with AJ Brown, you're like, we gotta wait and find out. We gotta see. The guy's on Madden the other night. On Madden, he's playing a streamer.
Did you, bro? I'm not. We're not getting into this because he just gave an interview. I just watched it. No, stop. We can talk about it next week.
Let's go.
Bro, I don't know how to say this other than like I've said it numerous times. You could be 1,000% right. All I've said is I want to know what it is. And if it's dumb and it's all AJ, I will come on here and I will give you your roses and I will trash AJ. All I'm saying is I just want to know. That's it. Like Nick Sirianni, they brought it up again today. Nick Sirianni was just like, I'm done. I'm not answering. He comes here. He's not making a scene. He's doing everything in practice he's supposed to. He's doing everything in the game he's supposed to. I'm not answering questions about it anymore.
Can I defend
That's
AJ?
it.
Can I defend him? Can I defend him?
Sure.
This is the only defense I'll give for AJ Brown. He was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. And Jalen Hurts in this offense and the situation he's in is going to cost him that.
I agree with you. I will say this. You'll probably see it as soon as we get off. He talked about it today. After practice.
I didn't see that.
And I will tell you I'm not saying the personal thing with Jalen has been resolved because I don't think it has, but I'm telling you point blank, his frustration right now is not with Jalen. It's he came out and pretty much said it without saying it. Like the offense is trash. Like everybody's adapted to what we were doing. We're not getting better. I want to win, but I want to contribute when we win, which I don't think is an asinine statement. And I will tell you, there was no shade thrown at Jalen whatsoever. It is strictly at the OC.
Well, the issue, and I want to bring this up in NFL, was the 4th and 7 on Monday night in which Jalen and AJ went rogue.
Yep.
They went rogue. And it's you
rogue?
don't know this yet? Control, do you know this yet? They went rogue.
They did.
Nick Sirianni was on
did.
the sideline.
And Sirianni stood up for him today too. He's like, I knew what they were doing. Like, there's an issue.
There's on the sideline where Nick's like, what the hell are they doing? What the F are they doing? He's on the sideline. They read his lips. Like, they went rogue on that play. They weren't supposed to snap the ball.
Nope.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense because I was wondering what is happening here because the 4th and 7 there, like I would think no timeouts. I mean, essentially Green Bay just had to get 20 yards to give McManus a true shot there. So I was very confused about what was happening there, and I knew Sirianni is an aggressive guy, but that felt much.
Jory, I'm with you. By the way, I got to read this comment out because it's really good. Dude said everything else is a shit show. Guy's a history of dealing with depression, could be doubting himself, could be frustrated, could be depressed. In the comments last night, he didn't say football is a shit show, just everything is. Guy wants the ball, whatever it is. I just hope he's good, man. I would agree with almost this wholeheartedly until he had his son looking at his Madden stats and saying, these are the only stats that daddy gets. Like, come on, bro.
I'm not going to lie to you. Part of me right now feels like AJ is having fun trolling everybody. Like, I feel like I'm not even just saying it as like a defense for him. Like, oh, he's just doing it just to troll you guys. But I'm saying that I think a big part of this now is that AJ is getting attention literally every single day. And he's always in the news. He's always getting talked about. And if everything, and I'm not saying everything in the locker room is good, but if everything in the locker room is at least okay, and I know people get tired of hearing the questions, and I'm sure Sirianni's tired of getting asked questions about it, but if everything in the locker room is okay, I feel like AJ's just going out here like, well, I'm not necessarily getting the ball. Why not have fun with it? Why not, have my name always be in the media? Why not always have people talking about me?
Smitty was my favorite when he said, who said I didn't want to be here? And Smitty went, what? Like, that was the best part of the whole. But I don't want
because somebody asked him about the Madden thing today too. And he got a little, I don't want to say standoffish, but he was kind of like, dude, like, if you're reading into that and not telling, like, not kind of what Cottrell said, not seeing that, like, we're trying to poke fun of the situation and like what's going on and make light of it. And if you're taking everything that went on in that conversation as serious, he literally said, I don't have anything to say to you then. Like, he's like, I wouldn't say he's trolling with a lot of this because a lot of it I think he's dead serious and he's really frustrated and there's shit going on behind the scenes with the OC and everything else.
He
But
was on a Hall of Fame trajectory.
I agree. I agree.
He should not have signed the contract. I will make you listen, I don't bet anymore. You guys know the whole situation. I don't bet anymore. I'll make you a bet of $20. That's it. Nothing crazy. That by this time next year, AJ Brown will not be an Eagle.
Dude, I'll take it. I'll take it for the fun of the show, and also because I think no matter what happens the rest of the year, I think they switch OCs.
They have to switch OCs. Stop promoting from within. I'm tired of it. But it wouldn't matter if you hired a head coach to call plays. I'm not going to get into that. We got to move.
He can't do that. He's not one of those guys that can do that. I'm
I'm
happy that he gave that up. But when you have a like if you bring in a Brian Dable, then Sirianni has to worry about him. When you bring in a guy like we have now that can't handle it, it's a mess. So I understand.
Brian Dable and they win the Super Bowl, then Brian Dable gets plucked again.
You worry about that after you win the Super Bowl.
Correct.
I know, but this is what they did with Kellen Moore, and they're worrying about it now.
You won a Super Bowl though, so it doesn't matter.
It's fair. Just go over this past week real quick. We don't want to recap too much. It's Wednesday.
You got the perfect segue here, Gene. I hope you take it.
What do you mean?
I didn't know if you were going to bring up Dan Campbell calling plays because I feel like this is the perfect little comparison to kind of bring in Sirianni with. By
the way, Dan Campbell calling plays was great. It was great. I didn't expect it. I had Jamison Williams on my fantasy team. Dan Campbell won me fantasy. I had Jahmyr Gibbs and Jamison Williams. Great job, Dan. Thank you. I got news for you. I was very, very scared about Monday Night Football. I knew the Eagles' offense was not going to move the football. I am not scared about Sunday Night Football. Bet the over. That's not one of my picks. Eagles-Lions is going to be like 38-35.
I actually think AJ is a big game Sunday night.
I agree.
I was saying that, though, to say before that game, I would have had my reservations about Dan Campbell being a play caller. Like, I would have said, I don't know if that guy's a play caller. Like, obviously, the Lions' offense has still been rolling, and he's not. Ben Johnson is no longer there, but I'd have my reservations about it. Maybe, I'm not saying Nick's good at play calling because I truly don't know, but maybe Nick has something that we don't know about. And if he gets the right guy in there and, we actually let him call some plays there, maybe it looks a little bit different. I don't know. But I'm just saying, don't write the guy off before
Nick called
before you have to.
It was terrible.
With what offense? Like who was
when he started here, he was calling plays and then gave it to Steichen after game 5. And then when Steichen left, he was calling plays and then gave Brian Johnson, and that fell apart. And then they hired Kellen Moore.
Okay, so you had it was during the first one wasn't, but the second one was with the AJ era. So
yeah, 2023.
Gotcha.
But we have a lot to get into as far as the NFL goes. I don't want to go too far into recapping. The Eagles Packers game was a fun game. It was a really fun 10-7 game. I don't care what anybody says. Like, if you don't like defensive football, just say you don't like defensive football. Part of the game. There was very good defense. But what I do want to bring up is this. I want to play a game. And I want to ask you guys this. I have a list of teams, and I want to ask you guys, can they win a Super Bowl? I'm not asking if they can make the Super Bowl, if they're a really good team, if they're a contender. Can they win a Super Bowl? Is that fair?
Fair.
I will start with a team that is number 1 seed in the AFC, and Indiana Jones and the Indianapolis Colts.
No.
No.
I go no too. I'm with you guys on no. I will stay in the AFC with the number 2 seed with the New England Patriots. Drake May, Mike Vrabel, Trevion Henderson got rolling this week. About damn time.
I mean, it's almost like you finally played your best running back and had the best rushing game of all season.
The team didn't allow 50 yards all year. Any running back, he has 145. Guy's good. Shocker.
Go figure. Second round running back's a good player.
New England Patriots. No. Can they win a Super Bowl?
No.
No. Close,
Okay,
but no.
I'll go yes. They can.
Okay.
The Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
I actually don't know. Not the way that defense is constructed right now. I'm going no.
I'm going no. I think New England's got a better chance to win a Super Bowl than Buffalo.
I would agree with that.
You got a top 3 quarterback in the game. You get extra luxuries.
You do, but when your defense is giving up 30 points a game, it's tough.
Your volume's low, Cottrell. I'm sorry. I just want to bring that up because next one. The Baltimore Ravens.
No.
No.
Absolutely yes. They are my AFC pick to win the AFC. I called it when they were 1-5. Gentlemen, I said it. They're going to win that division at 11-6. People are going to think I'm nuts. That's okay. 1-5. They were plus 200. The Baltimore Ravens are starting to get rolling.
Well, I mean, 2 of the teams in that division stink. So, I mean, winning the division is not saying much.
Well, 1-5, and you go 10.
I get it.
1.
I get it.
Let's move to the NFC. I'm not going to ask you guys about the Chiefs. The answer is obviously yes. Let's move to the NFC. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
No.
No.
I'll go no also. The Los Angeles Rams.
Yes.
Yes.
I agree with yes. I'm not going to answer the Eagles. That's an obvious one to me. They can win the Super Bowl. I don't think they will. It's not my pick. The Detroit Lions.
Yes.
Yes.
No. And then the last one I'll ask you. The best team in football. The Seattle Seahawks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They are the best team in football. Number 1 on your power rankings. If they're not, you better pay attention. Mike McDonald's got that defense on another level of drugs. Shooting them up with something. They're incredible. And Sam Darnold's doing his job. K9, JSN's the number 1. By the way, I think Ohio State should be investigated for what they're putting in some of these receivers because they're all good.
Wide receiver you, bro.
It's beyond that. I would put that wide receiver you way over LSU's. I know you got Jennings and Jamar Chase.
It was tough because the top end was different at LSU. Like, because you had Jamar and Jettas, but JSN, if he keeps playing like this, he has firmly put himself in that category of receiver.
I mean, there's so many of them. Ohio State, Mecca Puka. He's JSN next year. Like, literally, what are we doing? I didn't even think Emeka Ibuka was going to be that good.
Jeremiah's probably better than all of them.
My point.
Neither one of them were receiver 1 while they were at Ohio State either, which is the craziest part.
Marv's starting to pick it up with a different quarterback finally.
Yeah, Brissett.
Yeah,
he's got
one
the ball.
One that can throw the ball on time.
Garrett Wilson. All right, I'm done. That was my breakdown. Let's get into our little bit of a preview. There's some really good football games this week. Really good football games this week. I'll start with the 1 o'clock you must see action. There's a game in the 1 o'clock hour that's a must watch. It's in Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Orchard Park to take on the Buffalo Bills.
Part of me feels like the slide has to stop at some point. I feel like Buffalo has just not looked like themselves essentially for the past few weeks here, and embarrassing loss to the Dolphins. Like I feel like at some point this has to get turned around. But then again, maybe it doesn't. Like maybe this is, they're this year's Eagles team of a couple years ago where, just something happens and you don't figure it out the rest of the way. I like the Bills to win this one just because I feel like they can't keep losing the way they've been losing these past few weeks. Like I almost feel like this is the game where Josh Allen's like, All right, screw it. If I got to be Superman, I got to be Superman. We got to get a win here.
I will take the Bills as well because I think they're going to catch Tampa at a good time where Tampa's still just banged up across the board. But at the same time, Buffalo's got to get back to what they were doing in the beginning of the year, which is run the football. The Josh Allen throwing the ball 45 times a game and James Cook touching it 14 times a game the last couple of weeks has not worked. They have to get back to running the football and be balanced. I think they'll do enough to win Sunday. I think it'll be a close game though.
Every time we're having a great show, Facebook decides to be ridiculous. Every time we're having a great show, they decide to be ridiculous.
What is that?
We're off Facebook, by the way.
Why?
I don't know. It's every time.
Facebook, just Facebook.
Yes, 100%. YouTube's still rolling. TikTok's still rolling. Twitter's still rolling. I hate that. Screw Facebook, man. I'm gonna keep talking. I'm gonna remove it and then try to re-add it.
I think the one interesting thing though about this game though for me is the fact that you have potentially Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin coming back. Both of them were limited participants at practice this week, so the Bucks have been finding a way to just plug and play these pieces. Like Tez Johnson has been coming along
great
for that Bucks team. Obviously, they've been doing running back by committee with White and their other running back, Sean Tucker, I believe his name is. But
Tucker, yeah.
They've really just been finding ways to keep it together until they get everybody back. So definitely give credit to that Bucks team. I think it'll be a good game, but like I said, I just think Buffalo absolutely has to get a win here.
Yeah, I mean they're losing touch with New England. I mean, which is crazy to say, but I agree with you. I think there's a good chance Bucky plays. They thought he was going to play last week, and he was pretty much a late scratch on Sunday. Godwin, I saw was still doubtful, so I don't know if he practiced today or something and that changed. But I do think Tampa Bay is a very good team. Once they get healthy and can run out, if they run out Godwin, Ibuka, and Tez, they'll be okay. Obviously, they're gonna miss Mike Evans, who I think is done for the year with that collarbone. And you get Bucky back, then I mean it's a formidable offense. So they'll definitely go up there and give them hell. I mean they're a gritty team. I don't think Baker's gonna shy away from everything. And I think Josh is, like I said, I think Josh and company got to get their shit together on the offensive side.
And I know I missed last week. I'm sure you guys talked about the trade deadline. I am very surprised that Buffalo's been struggling as much as they have, and they did not make a move at the deadline to really do anything.
First and third to Miami for Waddle.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and obviously the Dolphins said no, which they're crazy to do that. But at the same time, like if that doesn't work out for you, you have to pivot somewhere else. Like you're in a championship window right now. Like you have to make moves. Like seeing the Eagles go out and say, hey, our pass rush has not been what we wanted it to be. We're going to go out and trade and get Jalen Phillips. And you saw he had an immediate impact for that Eagles team. Even Dallas, like Dallas isn't a team where, you have true championship aspirations this year, but they said, hey, we stink on the defensive line. Our offense has been rolling. Let's make a couple moves to see if we can get better on defense and see if we got a shot at potentially making the playoffs here and making the run, getting Quinnen and getting Logan Wilson. For Buffalo, I just feel like this is a year where, it could really all go downhill after this year. If Joe Brady decides to leave and, if it's another year of disappointment in the playoffs, I'm not saying McDermott is on the hot seat, but at what point is it like, hey, we keep making the playoffs, we win maybe one game, and that's really it. That's been like the peak of our Josh Allen days. Like I think at some point those conversations need to be had. So I was expecting Buffalo to make some sort of move here, and they really didn't go out and do anything.
Josh Allen lost a little bit of his edge. People don't want to say it out loud, but I'll say it out loud.
We're back on Facebook, by the way. I just fixed it. It's a new post, which sucks, but whatever. I'm going to share it out. We're about to get into trivia. Do you guys want to do pick 'em now?
Might as well get it out of the way.
Let's do pick 'em, and then we'll get into trivia. I'm going to share it out to all the groups again, but just giving you guys a heads up.
Cool. Well,
yeah, by the way, real quick, can I talk about this for 1 second?
Absolutely.
Jags plus 1.5 is the worst loss in the history of the show. They're up 29-10. Now, they lose the game 30-29. Screw it. I still win, so I don't care. They complete a pass down the sideline. We're all watching. Me and Jacob are watching. We're like, hey, hopefully we can see Walker Little kick a 70-yard field goal. Complete a pass down the sideline. They call some phantom hands to the face penalty. The next play, he's trying to make a play. He fumbles. It gets returned for a touchdown with no time, for no reason. They covered a spread on a ridiculous end. That's got to be one of the worst losses ever.
I mean, it's got to be up there with Eagles-Rams from earlier this year, where I forgot what the spread was, but I'm pretty sure the Rams were covering it before Jordan Davis took it to the crib. So
that's another one. You're right. All right, let's get into pick 'em.
All right, so guess I'm going first here. Typically do NFL side. So first game, I am going against my team this week. I like the Ravens -7.5 at the Browns. I think the Ravens are playing good football right now, and as well as the Browns defense has been playing, their offense still can't find a rhythm to really do anything. So love the Ravens covering that spread there. I think they do it rather easily. Next two are going to be two primetime matchups. I like the Cowboys Monday night -3.5 at the Raiders. Geno Smith has not been playing well. I know they were in the game against the Broncos, but that was in large part, due to their defense. I think the Cowboys getting their new additions are going to be a lot better on defense. I think they make a ton of plays there, so I like them -3.5. And then Thursday night, I like the under 43.5 Jets at Patriots. Without Garrett Wilson, they're going to be missing him for the next few weeks here. I don't really see that Jets offense moving the ball too well in that game. And on the flip side of it, I think the Patriots are going to just beat the hell out of the Jets and get out of there, run the clock out. So I can see it being a double-digit victory for the Patriots, but I love that under 43.5 number.
I'm with you. I love the under in the Thursday night football game too. Not one of my picks, but I love it. I'm trying to stay away from over-unders anymore.
All right. I'm going out to the AFC West for my first one. We made a big deal about how Bo Nix hasn't beat that many starting quarterbacks last year. Well, he hasn't done it this year either. I'll take Kansas City -3.5 at Denver. I think they go into Denver and win convincingly. Again, I just don't think – I think Denver's a little bit of fool's gold yet again this year. Second game, going Washington at Miami -2.5. The resurgent Miami Dolphins, I might want to add. Only taking Miami, coming off a big win. They are playing a little bit better. Washington's a dumpster fire right now, traveling down to South Beach. I'll take the Dolphins. Last but not least, Seattle +3 at the Rams. I think it's a great game, probably game of the week. I think the Rams are going to play really well at home, but I'll take Seattle and the 3 on the road.
That game's in Madrid, by the way. The Miami game.
Even better.
Yeah, I just want to I think that Madrid is getting a great football game. Commanders, Dolphins.
Jesus.
All right, let me get into mine. I have 3 for you guys. And then we got some trivia coming.
I mean,
I got the Vikings -3 over the Chicago Bears. I watched this game play out week 1 in Chicago. J.J. McCarthy, the only game he looked good this year, torched that secondary in the second half. Brian Flores absolutely destroyed that defense. I love the Vikings in this game. Great bounce back situation. Give me the Vikings -3 over the Chicago Bears. For my second game, this is an easy one. Sorry. I'm going to let you know what's going to happen. Aaron Rodgers put up a 4 quarterback rating, and now he gets to play at home versus the Cincinnati Bengals. This is going to be a blowout. Steelers -5.5 is free. They might win this game by 35.5. Give me the Steelers over the Bengals. TJ Watt and that Steelers defense is starting to get after the quarterback. I love the Steelers in this football game. I think it's easy. Last one is ugly. Jory, I hope you're paying attention. It looks like Davis Mills is going to start for the Houston Texans. I got Tennessee winning this football game outright. You want to give me 7 points? I'll take them. Give me the Titans with the interim head coach to beat Long Neck Mills after a game where they won that they shouldn't have won. Now they got to travel on the road to another division rival. Love Tennessee in this one. I'll check out your message. I will read your article. Thank you, Kneecap. I get it, but the Bears are always beat up. All right, so they're gonna win. They're gonna win this week outright. Titans, baby. All right, trivia, guys. I want you to pay attention to this question. Maybe I should write it up so people can see it.
Oh boy.
I want you to pay attention to this question because it matters. I'm going to edit it real quick. Most touchdowns, rushing or receiving, since of active players. Most touchdowns, rushing or receiving of non-retired players. They might not be active this week, but they're still active in the NFL. Active players. Now, listen, you guys should fly through the top. The top is super easy. Scally, why don't you start us off with an easy one? Throw it out. That's just career touchdowns, not like 1 week.
Okay, so we're talking career, and they could be rushing or receiving.
Rushing or receiving. Can't be passing.
And they have to be active.
They have to be still active, correct?
As in their
first 3 are cakewalks.
See if I knock a not cakewalk off.
I got 2 just right away. That just
I don't understand. This should be.
I'll go Mike Evans.
Mike Evans is number 2.
And I'll go Derrick Henry.
Number 1. That's the easiest one to me.
Yeah.
I have 11 through 15 in case you guys get stuck. I was able to rattle off 8 of these without a problem.
I will go Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce's number 8.
I would go with Christian McCaffrey.
CMC is number 7. Style points. Gatrell is leading right now.
Who else been in the league for a while? Devontae Adams.
Players only. Devontae Adams is number 3.
Was not expecting him to be as high as he is.
Number 3.
All right, so I will go with. I feel like there needs to be another back high. Going through. I will go with Keenan Allen.
Keenan Allen is not in the top 10.
Gotta go with somebody I loathe, but I'll go with the cheetah, Tyreek Hill.
Number 4, Tyreek Hill.
That's a good one.
3-2. All right. That's 4-3. 4-2. 4-2.
4-2.
I went first.
All right, let me get my supercomputer kind of working here. See if we can get rolling.
Ooh, I know one.
No.
At least get me to 5.
Let's see. No. Who did you just say, Bill?
He said
Tyreek Hill.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go with.
Only because I know one.
This is so rough. I will go with. Let's see. Saquon Barkley.
Nope.
I'm gonna go with Alvin Kamara.
Number 5.
Alvin came out in. It came out in 2017 or 18. So, okay.
For the chat that keeps naming them, the ones that have been named so far: Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Alvin Kamara, CMC, and Travis Kelce.
Guy's probably not on the list, but I feel like he's a super vet at this point, and I go with Stephon Diggs.
Ooh.
Not on the list.
Go
For the win.
Cooper Kupp.
Nope.
Damn it.
I'm gonna go that same route that I went. I'm gonna go with Adam Thielen.
Nope. You guys just named 19 and 20, by the way.
Has he been in the league long enough?
Oh, I got one. I got one for sure. Gotta have one.
I know exactly who you have. I'm actually going to write your name next to it because I don't think Shot will get that one. I already know exactly who you have.
I'm trying to think wide receivers that have been.
For the win.
Give him some time. Give him what
All
we're
right.
doing here.
That's fine. 5 seconds.
Yeah. Let's get the show on the road.
I'll go. I think he's still playing. I'll go with Nuke.
He's on the list.
DeAndre Hopkins is number 6. That was the one I thought that Cottrell was going to name. Is that who you're going to name?
Absolutely.
The two you were missing were 9 and 10. Anyone want to take a shot at them?
What position?
Running backs, both of them.
Oh.
Is Nick Chubb one of them?
Nope.
Is Jonathan Taylor one of them?
Nope.
It might be this year. Hell's been around.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think. Like
one of them is hurt. They're both hurt. They're both on PUP or IR.
Is Mixon one of them?
Mixon's 9. The other one scored a lot of touchdowns on one coast, and now he's playing on the other coast.
One coast.
Scored a lot of touchdowns for one team. Now he's playing in our division.
Oh, Eckler?
Yep, that's number 10.
Would have never
just so you know, 11 through 15 were James Conner is number 11. Wow. Stephon Diggs was 12. Aaron Jones 13. Keenan Allen 14. And number 15, who will eventually be on this list, Josh Allen.
Wow.
He has that many rushing touchdowns? Jeez.
Yes.
That's wild. Cottrell always lives in that 11 to 15 area.
That's my wheelhouse right there.
That's what we got. We got a lot of answers in the chat. Appreciate everybody. There's DeAndre Hopkins right here. Tyreek Hill. Adams.
Where are Jettas and Chase at? Are they been close?
No.
Damn.
They weren't even on the list.
Yeah,
there was actually 3 Bengals on the list. No, I'm wrong. Wrong team. But I had another one I was going to give you, but I felt like it was too hard. It was the top 10 most interceptions since 2011. One season of interceptions. Like Eli was on there twice. Jameis Winston was on there twice.
Jameis had 30.
Yeah, one season. Anything else NFL we need to go over? I feel like NFL is, we talk about it every week. It's part of our hot wire. It's good conversations.
I don't think so.
Listen, Stevenson is ruled out. I love it. Give me some more Trevion Henderson, baby. By the way, I hosed RJ in a trade. I hope he's in the chat. RJ, if you're there, I hosed RJ in a trade. 2 weeks ago, we made a trade. I'm like, I'm buying stock in Trevion Henderson. I'm doing it. He wanted J.K. Dobbins was number 5 in the league in rushing. I said, give me Trevion Henderson, Ramondre, I want the backfield, and Juwan Jennings, and I'll give you J.K. Dobbins. 2 weeks ago. He goes, done. I want the I'm not playing Jennings. He's in and out of the lineup. Trevion Henderson and Ramondre have been a mess. JK's number 6 in the league in rushing. That trade couldn't be working out better for me.
Not to mention, Gene, I know they weren't fleeces at the moment, but you've gotten me twice now this season. I think I'm done with trading with you.
What was the second one?
The second one was JK for Deebo Samuel.
Oh, I got rid of JK and I didn't believe I had him. I know he's going to go on IR, and he is. He's going on IR.
He is going on IR.
I sold JK and any place I could sell.
Not to mention Scatterboo and Wilson.
You were winning that trade. I lost 3
sure.
straight games when I made that trade.
For sure. But now
Scatterboo was like RB1, bro. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Now, the reason I did it is I have such a big lead in my division that I wanted Derrick Henry down the stretch. I really
better player. Yeah,
correct. I really believe Derrick Henry gets better as the season goes on, and I think the Ravens will be fighting for playoff spots, and I think it's a perfect time. But it is what it is. What's up, Alex? I see Alex in the chat. What's up, brother? I haven't talked to you in a while. How's Madden? All right. Stay with mac and cheese. What Purdy future and Mac and I'm going back to Purdy. Just paid him.
You think Mac's gonna get a 3-year, $100 million deal in the offseason like Darnold and Baker?
To where though?
I mean, I don't know. Maybe Arizona. They trade Kyler. Maybe the Jets.
I think the Jets get 5 first-round draft picks for Joe Burrow.
I mean, I don't think you can make that deal though if you're Cincinnati.
They're ready to move off of him.
I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can do that.
I agree.
That is a franchise altering trade.
It is.
That's the Luka trade all over again.
It really is.
I just need to get Joe Burrow out of Cincinnati so everybody can see what I see. If Joe Burrow was drafted to New England, he'd be Tom Brady.
Yeah, it's fine. But New York's not the answer to that.
No, you're right. But if Joe Burrow was drafted in a good situation, he'd be one of the greatest quarterbacks you ever watched play football.
I don't think many people would argue that.
I just feel like that. You want to talk about A.J. Brown having his career ruined by an organization, Philadelphia. Joe Burrow's had his career ruined by Cincinnati.
I can't say that. I'm gonna tell you why. If he doesn't win a Super Bowl, but keeps putting up the numbers he puts up, he goes in. I mean, not that you want to be Dan Marino, but he turns into Dan Marino. Like nobody's ever going to give that dude shit or say he's not a great quarterback. He goes to the Hall of Fame. He goes all yes. He goes to the Hall of Fame.
Well, he doesn't go Dan Marino. He goes Andrew Luck because I think if it stays this trajectory, he's going to be gone before he gets the whole Dan Marino route. And Andrew Luck, I don't think is a Hall of Famer. Although he was a great quarterback.
Press conference before the season started, but listen, you guys are going to kill me. I'll give up all my money. You guys need to get rid of me. I'm not reporting for you guys again.
I'll retire. I'll either retire or
he's going to play on Thanksgiving.
I did see that. Week 13.
They're going to lose the next 2 weeks. They're going to be 3-7, 3-8. Why are you going to play on Thanksgiving?
I mean, there's numbers he gets the rest of the year.
Bro, the Jets 5 first rounders.
I mean, that's suicide. You're as much as hard it is to say out loud, you're actually going backwards there.
No.
You are, bro. That
team, there's nothing worse than Cincinnati.
I disagree. I mean, you can say what you want, but at the end of the day, at least he has people to throw to and everything. Jets are a mess, dude. They're going to fire Aaron Glenn after 1 year. They have no quarterback. They have no. I mean, I'm sure Olave, even after signing that deal, is probably going to ask to get the hell out of there again. That whole place is a disaster. There's no way I'm going back there to just be part of a rebuild again.
Yeah, and Paul Brown Stadium needs to be renovated for the last 10 years and hasn't been. It smells like piss in the locker room.
I mean, MetLife's
a piece of shit. So what's the difference?
Diaper dandy.
It's players.
Talking about it's like $1 billion stadium.
Players bitch about
that tear their ACL.
Yeah,
you're talking about the field surface.
Players literally every freaking game are like, I don't want to play on this field.
I'll bet you he could put that in his contract. Joe
I
Burrow,
tore my
you get
ACL on my
five
contract.
first-round draft picks, and you need to redo the field. I need real
They've
grass.
redone it. They've redone it numerous times.
No, they
Yeah.
keep using the fake grass.
Yeah, it's all next turf.
Yeah, they should use real grass. They have enough money. Let's get into some
Stadium
college
sucks.
football. Control, where we headed?
So this week we got some big time matchups. Don't want to go over all the ranked v ranked, but do want to go over the two
There's some
huge ones.
There's some eliminators this week.
Absolutely. So first one being you got the Oklahoma Sooners, number 11th right now, right on the outside looking into the college football playoff based on the most recent rankings. Traveling down to Tuscaloosa to take on the number 4 Alabama Crimson Tide. This is 100% a college football elimination game for Oklahoma here. And then for Bama, I mean, this is going to be huge as far as seeding goes. So want to get your guys' thoughts on the preview of this one.
I don't think Oklahoma's anywhere near the level of Alabama. I don't. I thought at the beginning of the season they were really good. John Mateer hasn't looked anywhere near as good recently as he had at the beginning of the season. I think Alabama rolls. I maybe I'm tripping with the spread, but I think the spread should be way more. Oklahoma had a huge win last week versus Tennessee. I don't get it twisted. But Mateer had 159 yards. They wouldn't win off the back of their quarterback.
I agree. The rushing game has been non-existent and just disappeared. John Mateer's not been the same since he's come back from the hand injury. Nobody's played better football than Alabama in the last 2 months. Alabama's at home. Like Cottrell said, this will be another just huge win for Alabama to put on the resume. They'd have like 5 or 6 ranked wins. I think they have more than anybody in the country. I don't think Oklahoma has the game plan to go into Tuscaloosa and win right now. I don't. I think the Tide roll.
So I also have the Tide rolling in this football game. For me, I think it's ultimately going to come down to, look, against Oklahoma, if you can limit what Mateer does on the ground, you are going to have a great day against Oklahoma. And I think that's exactly what Alabama's game plan is going to be coming into the game. And I believe I saw a stat, as crazy as it is Kalen DeBoer, as bad of a season as they had last year, Kalen DeBoer has not lost at Bryant-Denny Stadium yet. So the fact that they are going to be home in that one, the fact that the offense is playing as well as they are playing, I think Alabama is going to absolutely roll in this football game there. And I'm with you, Gene. I think that spread was a little disrespectful there as far as Bama goes. I think they kind of roll. Like I can see that game being a 2-possession ball game all day long.
Roll Tide.
But with that said, though, the other game that is absolutely monstrous is going to be number 10 Texas traveling down to Athens, Georgia to take on the Georgia Bulldogs. Number 10 versus number 5. Again, this is another one for Texas. I mean, I would say all but in your college football playoff hopes here with that third loss, against another ranked team there. But where are we thinking with this? And this is a primetime game. It's at 7:30. Georgia's 5.5-point favorites in this one. Where are you guys going?
Gotcha. I'm picking this one.
Oh, all right. So yeah, Texas kind of clawed their way back into this thing. They had a miracle finish a couple weeks ago, and they played 2 really good games since then. O-line's a little banged up. Arch is starting to look like Arch, or we thought Arch was going to look anyway. And obviously that defense is still very good. Georgia's been a mixed bag all year. They've looked great for periods of times, even in the same game, and they've looked terrible for other parts. This is an interesting game. I think this game is a lot closer. I think 5.5 may even be a little generous. But that being said, these are the type of games that I think in the near past that Kirby Smart just doesn't lose. I think Georgia will play very well under the lights at home. I think Georgia gets it done in a really close game.
I think you're in for a barn burner in this one. Over under is at 48.5. I think that over is a lock. I don't see this being a defensive struggle game. I think with Georgia, they are coming off of arguably their most complete game all season against Mississippi State. And on the flip side of it, with Texas, I'd argue that since that concussion happened, Arch has been playing absolutely lights out. Right before the concussion happened, in that game, he's been playing absolutely lights out, ironically enough, against Mississippi State. So for me, I think that spells that this game is going to be a track meet. You're going to have both offenses absolutely humming. But in this one, ultimately, I'm rolling with Georgia, horns down. I think Georgia's just going to have a little bit too much offensively. And, just similar to Bill's point there, Kirby Smart in these big games, unless it's against Alabama, he does not lose these games. And so I'm rolling with Georgia to get it done, maybe late, maybe walk-off field goal, maybe even overtime. But I like Georgia to take care of business in this one in a really tight, high-scoring ball game.
Can I get my pick now?
Go ahead.
I just want to talk about it. I'm going to give you guys a guarantee. I'm going to give a Gene guarantee. This line opened up at 6.5 for Georgia. 80% of the money is on Georgia. The spread's down to 5.5. That, my friends, is called reverse line movement. I love Texas in this game. Georgia's been begging to get beat. Texas wins this game outright. Take them on the money line. Take them plus 5.5. Hook them. This is a game Georgia loses at home. Arch went and lost up in Ohio State. Arch went and lost at Florida. It's prepared him for what he's going to walk into at Georgia. I love Texas in this football game. Hook 'em horns. Give me Texas.
I wouldn't be surprised if Texas covers at all. Like I said, I think it's going to be a very tight ball game. I just think it's wild what Arch has become, seeing how he played the first 6 weeks of the year. Like it's crazy, the revelation that it's almost like just one day he just figured out this is how you play quarterback.
I'll shave my beard. I can't shave my head because of work. I'll shave my beard if they lose.
Head and beard is crazy.
I can't shave my head. I can't go. I already shaved it down. It's like a 2. I'll get it like a baldy, like a skin fade. I don't care. I'll do that. But I will shave my beard if Texas doesn't cover. Go on.
All right.
That's how, guys, I'm telling you, this is the same Gene that told you to put every dollar you own on the Ravens to win that division. And now they're minded. You can cash it out. Cash out your money. You've already won. You've already won money if you put $500 on, like I told you to.
Gene, my question to you is, before we get to pick them,
yep,
do you have another national championship pick?
No, I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. I told Shally that last week. I'm done. I am sitting out this year of the national championship. I'm not going anywhere else. My original team. By the way, Penn State played a hell of a football game versus Indiana.
Should have won.
Well, I got to give credit where credit's due. Mendoza in that offense and whoever that receiver was that tiptoed the line in the back of the end zone. And one of the greatest calls you'll hear in college football. It was perfect. I can't listen because Penn State's kind of out of it. I could accept it and not be that upset about it. I really don't care if they win or lose, but that was an incredible ending to that game.
I will say though, and part of this is the Ohio State fan in me for sure. I can 100% admit this, but the fact that people are trying to wrap up the Heisman race because Indiana's offense played like ass for 3 quarters and then Mendoza finally leads a good drive to end the game. That's what ultimately is going to wrap up the Heisman. That's absolutely blowing my mind right now. The fact that, Pavia's been great. Marcel Reed's been great. Julian Sain's been great. And we're going off of a game against Penn State, who still hasn't won an in-conference game yet, but they let a drive on the road at the end against 3-7 or 3-6 Penn State, and that's what's putting the bow on the Heisman
Julian
Trophy.
Sain's
Is
still
really
the
getting
favorite,
after me,
bro.
But
He's
you heard Gus's. You
170.
talk about it was a great call. Like Gus is talking about Heisman moments, and like
it was a Heisman moment. Doesn't mean he wins the Heisman. He's second in Heisman, and he should be. Julian Sain's first in Heisman, and he should be. Who cares?
I'm not saying Gus's call was bad.
I'm
saying there is a lot of talk about Mendoza. Like look at On3. Look at all of your recruiting college football sources. Like people are having a lot of conversations. Mendoza did not play well before the fourth quarter.
He didn't.
And it was a great drive, and I'll give him a ton of credit for it. Gus Johnson's call was great. I'm not calling out Gus. I'm just saying that people are starting to run away with this Mendoza for Heisman talk, and he played a rather pedestrian game for 3.5 quarters.
John Suggs got A&M winning it all, coming from a Duck fan.
Well, he wouldn't pick Ohio State after that thrashing we gave them last year.
I mean, look, I'm not taking any pot shots at Indiana. I'm not. Indiana's played great. They've played really good.
It's not a shot at Indiana. I'm just talking the Heisman specifically.
I'm not even gonna lie. If I had to vote right now, I'd vote for Mendoza.
That makes sense.
And that's not a slight of Julian saying. I mean, you're talking about one game
up there too.
Ty Simpson should be up there.
Absolutely.
So's 3 right now. Saying Simpson, and Mendoza. You weren't here last week. I did the
yeah. So I was going to say that's not me throwing shade at saying either.
You said he was number 1.
I would. I took him over everybody.
Did you hear that?
Really? I did not. No.
We did like a ladder of NFL quarterbacks that are playing in college now. And like 10 years from now, out of all the quarterbacks that are playing in college, who's going to be the best quarterback in the NFL? Not in college. And we went through a ladder. Do you want to do it? I could do it with you real quick.
Sure.
So you still have it?
Yeah, I'll pull it up in 10 seconds. I got it in 10 seconds, brother. All right, so I started with him very easy, right? I started with a real simple, crappy Carson Beck or John Mateer.
I mean, you know my feelings about Beck, so I'll go Mateer.
John Mateer or Garrett Nussmeier?
I'll go Nussmeier.
Garrett Nussmeier or Arch Manning?
Arch Manning, okay.
Arch Manning or Lenore Sellers?
Lenore Sellers.
Lenore Sellers or Fernando Mendoza?
At the NFL level, I'll go Lenore's.
Lenore Sellers or Dante Moore?
Dante is going to be good. I'll go Dante Moore.
Dante Moore or Ty Simpson?
Dante Moore.
Dante Moore or Julian Sayin?
Julian Sayin.
That was essentially, he ended up with Julian Sayin. The only one I didn't add was Bryce Underwood. And I didn't add him because honestly, he's kind of sucked. And I think he's going to be really good. But I mean, he has kind of sucked. Am I wrong?
He hasn't sucked. I think in comparison, though, like you heard all offseason and all camp that he is the best. He's going to come in, be the best freshman. And you were getting the Trevor Lawrence comps, and Trevor Lawrence came in as a true freshman and won a national championship and was undefeated. So I think in comparison, yes, but I mean, he's a true freshman quarterback, and Michigan's going to be at a point where they're going to have an opportunity to make the college football playoff and go 10-2 if they can beat Ohio State at the end of the year. So I don't think he's necessarily sucked, but he's definitely not lived up to this, generational talent that people have dubbed him as, and, best freshman we've ever seen or best freshman since Trevor Lawrence, because he hasn't been that.
I think he's going to be incredible. And I think if we have this conversation next year, he'll be near the top. But I don't see Decap Biden. Moore sucks as a head coach for Michigan. He hampers Underwood. Coming from Michigan, fan.
Give a call, please. not saying Sean Moore is the end all be all, but it's not. They just between him and Chip Lindsey, they're still trading wheels with certain things.
Sure.
Are you underwhelmed or kind of right where you're expecting to be with Underwood?
You have to be underwhelmed. Come on, Chow.
I'm not underwhelmed. I was very honest with what I thought he was going to be if he started this year, with what they had coming back. I will say this. He's still making mistakes that I expect an 18-year-old to make. My problem with it is on the coaching side, though, because he's made enough special plays and giving you enough glimpses that it's there. Just let him play. He's gonna make the mistakes one way or the other. So get him out of the way now. Like I said, they're like the third youngest team in a Power Five. Like this year is not going to matter. If we make the college football playoff this year, great, that's fine. That team is geared to be really good the next 2 years. Get it all out of him now. Let him play. Let him play.
I agree with what you said, but you can't say he's not underwhelming this year.
I don't think he's underwhelming. Like underwhelming to me would be like even when he has chances to make plays, like he hasn't done so. He has.
Touchdown passes and 3 interceptions, and half his games are just little stiffness to the floor.
And I don't think that's what necessarily what underwhelming means either. I think that there was an expectation put on him that he was going to come in and potentially be the best quarterback in the Big Ten this year.
Okay, but that's also but that a lot of that had to do with the whole NIL thing, and that's a lot of people that are saying that don't. I mean, again, if you lined up just the way Michigan naturally plays, Bryce Underwood and say Julian Sayin, you would never pick Bryce Underwood to have better stats than Julian Sayin this year.
No. I'm not saying he's Julian. Julian Sayin is probably going to win the Heisman Trophy.
My point is this: he was never even as good as JJ was his senior year. He's not going to throw for 4,000 yards. They run the ball 45 times a game, and until they
he had 86 yards at Michigan State, bro.
Until they terrible. Okay, go watch the game. They dominate the game. Like they're not concerned with him putting up gaudy numbers right now. They're trying to get stupid. They're trying to make him not make stupid mistakes, win football games, and get him ready. I don't agree with all of it. Again, I'm saying I'd rather him go out and throw the ball 30 times a game and take some of the pressure off the running backs. But when you have two stud running backs and they're running people over, they don't feel the need to go do that with him right now. Right, wrong, or indifferent. No. Again, I don't agree with it, but what is it?
Yes, if he had a 300-yard game, yes.
No, he has not. He's had a couple, I think he's had one or two, over 2, but he hasn't been 300 game.
251. It's opening week versus New Mexico was his best.
And he's ran the ball well. So I mean, it's we'll see.
He's had a 100-yard rushing game.
It's got a couple touchdowns. Again, the glimpses are there. I think everything that people said he can be is within reach. 100%. I just don't think it. I never thought it was going to be this year as an 18-year-old true freshman quarterback. Maybe that's me being realistic. I don't know.
I was kidding, by the way, so if you couldn't tell. Let's get into pick 'em, gentlemen. All right. Am I in the lead yet? Come on. I'm not in the lead yet.
In the lead for the win-loss record, yeah. Absolutely.
Shalley's got the better percentage.
Barely.
Yeah.
What are we doing? What order?
Same order.
Okay. I always ask out of respect, brother.
I hear you.
Go ahead and knock mine out then. First game, I'm going with the ranked matchup. I'm taking USC minus 6.5 versus Iowa at home. Iowa won't score enough points to cover the spread in this game. Even last week, I know they played a close game against Oregon. Iowa's offense is going to be what it is against good teams. They're not going to score more than 17 points, and you're going to have to just live with that. So I don't see them dragging that game to the mud against USC in SoCal. So I like the Trojans to cover the 6.5 point spread there. I like the under 48.5 Penn State at Michigan State. I think both offenses have obviously been struggling there, but I do think Penn State's defense will come to play against Sparty. But I do like that under 48.5 number. Penn State also picks up their first conference win in that game. Last game, I like South Florida minus 9.5 at Navy. Navy is coming off an absolute drubbing against Notre Dame. I think South Florida, while they don't play a similar offense necessarily to Notre Dame, I do think with the way that they like to run their offense and move the ball up and down the field with their rushing attack and Byron Brown's ability to put the ball in the air, I think that game can get out of hand. And with Navy pretty much only running the ball there, I think that game can get kind of ugly there. So I like South Florida to cover the 9.5. And then my super dog this week, I'm taking South Carolina plus 18.5 at Texas A&M. One of those tricky games where I think Shane Beamer can have South Carolina poised for the upset, and even going on the road as well as A&M has been playing, I think there is room for a slip up there. And, with the quarterback like Norris Sellers, I think anything can happen. So I like South Carolina plus 18.5 to pick me up some super dog points this week.
Gotta give credit to the AP. The AP has been really close to the college football playoff rankings the last few weeks. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, not if you went from week one.
No, 100%. I'm just giving them credit because they've woken up.
First game, I'm going to go about the game we already talked about, Oklahoma at Alabama. I like the Tide minus 5.5 at home. Again, I don't think Oklahoma's going to score enough to stay in that game. And their defense is kind of taking a step back as well. I think Ty Simpson and those receivers, Ryan Williams and company, are going to have a good day. I like Bama big at home. Second game, same as Cottrell, Iowa at USC. USC only minus 6.5, one possession. I'll take that all day and take my chances with it. I don't think Iowa scores enough to stay in that game. USC plays really, really well at home. That running game and passing as well. I'll take USC. Third game, Georgia Tech at Boston College plus 18.5. I'll take the Eagles. They play strong at home. Played great against Notre Dame 2 weeks ago. Georgia Tech is kind of a one-faceted team as well, like Notre Dame. I think Boston College can keep it close. Last but not least, Superdog. I'm taking Wisconsin plus 29.5 at Indiana. Indiana coming off a huge win. I know they're going home. But that being said, Wisconsin, they've actually played a lot better the last 2 weeks. I don't know if that's coinciding with them, saying Luke Fickell's going to be back, but having backing from the university. But 29.5 points in the Big Ten is a lot. I'll take my chances with the Badgers at Indiana.
Okay. You guys know one of my picks. I'll start with that one. Give me Texas plus 5.5 over Georgia. Love that game this week. Reverse line movement. I wish I could have gotten 6.5. That's what it opened up as. I'll take the 5.5. It is Wednesday night. Second game on the agenda. I told you last week, I don't think Louisville is that good. They won me a ton of points for Superdog by blowing that game at home. I'll take Clemson plus 3.5 at Louisville again. Give me Clemson plus 3.5 over Louisville. I'm going to go directly against Shally on this one. Give me Indiana minus 29.5 over Wisconsin. Wisconsin stinks. I think Indiana runs it up, especially after the close game they had versus Penn State. I think they'll want to make their statement game, run it up. Give me Indiana over Wisconsin. And for my super dog, I dug deep for this one. Deep. I'll take the 49ers. Not San Fran. The Charlotte 49ers plus 18.5 over UTSA. UTSA is a really good team at home. You know where they're not good? On the road. They lost to Temple on the road. They lost even the games they won. They were favored by 26.5, won by 1 on the road. They're going to play at Charlotte, and Charlotte's getting 18.5. I don't know if Charlotte wins, but I think they cover. Give me the 49ers.
I like it.
What a little nuts there. Well, Charlotte 49ers.
5 years ago, who would have thought Gene would be picking the Charlotte 49ers in Superdog? Like,
true.
Look how far we've come with Gene in college football.
I work hard. You ask Nick. I be sitting downstairs doing my research.
I believe it. I definitely believe it.
Guys, we constantly talk about when the UFC puts on a bad card. We talk about it all the time. This is not a bad card. This is one of the best cards I've seen in a really long time. There's so many fights on this UFC card that I can't wait to watch. UFC should hire me to promote this card. View the graphic.
Absolutely.
You guys on the undercard. Bo Nickel's on the main card, right?
He just got moved to the undercard.
Who got dropped?
No, somebody got added. I'll look at it right now. But
Beneil
that was a change that just
St.
happened.
Denis?
Yeah, that's part of the main card.
Yeah, Beneil got moved up. Beneil and Benoit Saint Denis got moved up.
Bo Nickel's the prelim, the best
like
prelim.
main. Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine. The Bo Nickel fight is interesting to see how he returns after getting the shit kicked out of him. I'll be interested to see how that plays out. Get knocked out his last fight, how he returns, and we'll see how that works out, how that plans out. But the main card is incredible. I'll be watching them all. I can't wait to watch this card as a whole. Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint Denis. Leon Edwards is fighting Carlos Prates. Sean Brady, that's Philadelphia's own Sean Brady, fighting Michael Morales. It's not Miles Morales. It's Michael. He's undefeated. Sean Brady's 18-1. That's a hell of a fight. And then the co-main event of the evening, which, by the way, I think should be the main event, but whatever. Valentina Shevchenko versus Zhang Wei Li. And then you got JDM, Jack Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev. Islam going up a weight class, goes to be the double champ. It's a great card. I see Shelly laughing. You like the entertainment? Are you entertained?
I'm being entertained twofold here. Yeah.
Where do you want to start, Joe?
I mean, there's so much. I mean, obviously we'll go in depth with the two main events, for the belts there. But I mean, just seeing the prelim card too, like you got Erin Blanchfield versus Tracy Cortez. Like if you're into the women's flyweight division, like that should be a good one. Roman Kopylov is fighting on the prelim card as well. So like this is one of those cards where I'm probably in my seat, on the couch in the basement about 8:30 or so, and I'm locked in probably until 2 a.m. because this card is that good. I already got audio on board. She said she's gonna take a nap sometime on Saturday, and she's gonna be up. Us and the baby are gonna be up watching it. So I'm definitely excited for it. But as far as just this main card here, and I guess we'll start with the co-main. Jane, this is one of those fights where I feel like this is me against you. Like Valentina's my favorite fighter, on the women's side of things. I feel like Zhang Wei Li is your favorite fighter on the women's side of things. So like this feels like a war of Control versus Jean here, and it'd be a cold day in hell before I pick against Valentina Shevchenko. I think this is going to be an absolute war. It does interest me, though. How does Wei Li look moving up in weight going up against Valentina here? But, ultimately, I think this will be a phenomenal fight. I'll take Valentina by decision. I think it goes all 5, but I think this fight's going to be absolutely incredible.
I think Zhang Wei Li is the better striker. I think Valentina is going to be better on the ground. I think that the grappling is incredible. I think Zhang Wei Li is going to be stronger. I'll take Zhang Wei Li to win. I think she outpoints her. I think it's a decision also, but I think it's an incredible fight. I have it 3-2. I don't think that any fighter is going to dominate this. I think it's going to be great back and forth action. I also don't think either fighter has the stones to knock out the other one. I think the only stoppage you can see in this fight is Zhang Wei Li or is Valentina by submission. I think that's the only way you can see this fight stop before, like this fight going to decision is a pretty safe bet, but I'll take Zhang Wei Li by decision 3-2.
Well, that's what Zhang Wei Li thought until Thug Rose kicked her in the face. I will go. I'm going Valentina though. I'll go her just being her natural weight. I think Zhang Wei Li moving up won't affect her that much. She's a pretty fit as is. So I think Valentina's be able to take the fight to the ground though. I think becomes a huge advantage for her if she wants it to be. I agree with both you guys by decision though. I think 3-2. But I'm leaning on Cottrell's side on this one. I'm going with Valentina.
Lucky Lauren Murphy was the last person that she knocked out. I just looked it up. I wanted to see. I remember Lucky Lauren Murphy, old head. Eddie Alvarez coached her on The Ultimate Fighter. But I think, but by the way, real quick, just before we get off the prelims, I know we're getting into the main event and the co-main event. I want to give you a fighter to look out for because this is just a little insider information. I know it's very, very early on the card.
At
but
FBI.
Fatima Klein. I want you to look out for Fatima Klein. She's from the Bronx. She's from New York. She's fighting Angela Hill. I've watched Angela Hill her entire career. I think that I think Fatima Klein is going to get on her stride, and I think she knocks her out. So that's early in the fight. She's with Silver Box, BJJ, the Archangel. The girl can fight. So just wanted to give that little FBI action. Don't bet more than $200. You might get investigated. For the main event, by the way, also taking Sean Brady, even though Michael Morales is the slight favorite. Sean Brady's Philly kid. I'm never going against him. So just put that out there. Jack Della Maddalena, JDM, versus Islam Makhachev. Fighting at 170 for the 170 belt. How are you going here?
I think this fight is more intriguing than I think a lot of people think it is. I think JDM has a little bit of a better shot in this fight than a lot of people think he does. But I'm on the side of until I see somebody beat Islam and somebody hurt Islam and somebody put him on the verge of losing, I just can't pick against him. He's just a machine. I think him moving up to 170 is not going to be a huge detriment to him. He was a huge 155 guy, which was one of his biggest strengths. So I don't think the size thing is going to be that detrimental to him, if at all. I'm going Islam by stoppage.
What if I told you that the last time either one of these fighters lost was the 2015-2016 circa, all within 1 year?
It's wild.
Islam got knocked out in 2015. Jack Della Maddalena got submitted in 2016. Neither fighter has lost since then.
It's almost a decade.
100%. Kind of wild. I think I'm going Islam too. I think, but trust me when I tell you this, I think it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah.
I think JDM gives him everything he's asking for. I don't think this is a run through Islam fight. I think this is going to be a really, really good fight. I think ultimately Islam takes him down too many times and he'll win by points. I think this fight also goes to decision. So I'll take Islam with a. I want to go 3, 1.5, 3.5, 1.5. I don't want to call it 4-1, but I don't want to say it's 3-2. I think it's going to be a little bit more dominant than 3-2, but I think it's not going to be as dominant as 4-1. I don't know how that makes sense, but I'm going to go with some
249-46s and 148-47 is what you're
something like that. That's where I see it at.
All right. Well, again, this is the card from heaven for me. I mean, you got favorite male fighter, favorite female fighter. Again, Code didn't help for our pick against Islam here. And while I do think JDM is a good matchup for Islam, especially with it being up at 170, I do agree with Bill that the weight won't be a problem for Islam because he was already big before. Honestly, he hasn't had any issues making weight at 155, but I feel like naturally, like his build is probably meant for 170 anyway. So with that said, I think Islam will be fine there. But I think this is a fight that once it gets to the ground is where it gets a little tricky. I know that JDM ultimately got the belt from Bilal and he looked really good in that fight while doing it. But I think Islam's ability to not just get you to the ground, but try and dominate you from the ground, I think is ultimately what's going to be the difference in this fight. I have it as a second round submission, but I don't want second round submission sounds early and it sounds like domination. I think it's going to be one of those things where Islam catches JDM in just a really bad spot and ultimately takes advantage of it to win the fight. So I'm saying second round submission, but I think before that happens, it's going to be a really good fight. I think Islam is going to take advantage of a big mistake from JDM, and that's ultimately going to be what gets Islam the belt there at 170.
I think it's going to be a great card. I can't wait to watch it. I'll
Same.
be really looking forward to this card.
This is card of the year from the UFC, without a doubt.
Yeah, and it's card of the year from like top to bottom. It's pound for pound card of the year.
And we don't get many of those anymore. And I don't, with this new merger with Paramount, like I don't know how many more we're going to get either. Also, I think what is going to make this card awesome as well is the fact that it's at MSG. When the cards are at MSG, you know, the production is great. Like you get, of course, all the stars are always going to be there. But I think about like last year's card with John Jones and Stipe, like that was at MSG, and there's just so much energy like in that building, in the Mecca. So I just think this is the perfect kind of venue to have a card like this.
Let's get into You Gotta Be Kidding Me.
All right, gents. Well, this week for me, not gonna lie, gonna be disappointed, but I feel like this is the first time in a long time I don't actually have one. You know, nobody really got under my skin this week. There was a couple where I was like, I could probably try and use these, but nothing really got under my skin this week. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna let this week pass. Next week we'll get back to it and really go from there. Thought about using the Cavs blowing Donovan Mitchell's awesome game winner, well, not game winner, but game tying shot, and then losing an OT from an alley-oop dunk to Andrew Wiggins, but that even wasn't too crazy. It happened. So nothing from me this week.
I'm guessing Shally doesn't have anything either.
Nope.
It's basically, we're going to just get rid of the segment for Shally. I have one, and it could be a conversation that we end the show with.
Perfect.
Mine is the NBA presented a new All-Star game format and selection process again. We're going to have a 3-team round robin with, and what they're essentially going to do is they're going to have 2 American teams and 1 world team. And I went to look at this format, and I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, so they didn't even go North America versus the world, because that gives the Americans a lot better of a chance. But I looked at this, and the world starting lineup is going to be unbeatable. And it's not going to be fun to watch. So just to kind of lay it out for you, the current MVP, SGA, will probably be running the point or 2. Luka will run the 2 or the 1. Giannis will be their power forward. Jokic will be their center. Like, what are we doing? We're just keep reinventing the wheel in NBA All-Star Game formats because LeBron ruined the All-Star Game. I am so sick and tired of the NBA trying to reinvent the wheel for their All-Star Game formats so they can be fun again. They weren't fun when you stopped competing. Then I got to listen to Big Perk get on ESPN and say, well, if you want them to play hard, you got to pay them a couple $1 million each to the winners. They don't pay them enough. $50 million a year isn't enough for you to play for your fans in an All-Star game? You got to be out of your freaking mind. The NBA has lost it. And it drives me up a wall how they consistently keep trying to reinvent the wheel to play pickup basketball. I got news for you. The world is going to smoke both United States teams this year. It's not going to be fun. And then maybe you'll get some competitive drive out of some of these guys. But for that, this week, the NBA.
Come on, you gotta be kidding me.
I'd love your thought.
I mean, the world team is going to be incredible. And you didn't even mention, Wemby being on that team. You're going to have Wemby next to Joker on that team. So it's going to absolutely be stupid there. But I give the NBA credit for trying to figure out what they can do, because obviously the format that they had wasn't working. So I'm not saying that this is going to work. I'm not saying that this is the, end all be all solution there, but you got to give them credit for at least trying something there. But with that said, though, I mean, ultimately, I think the incentive is, and I know you guys are against it because we talked about it with baseball, and we've probably talked about it with the All-Star game there as well. Make it to where this game means something. Like, put forth home court advantage in the NBA Finals. This isn't baseball to where you play all your good guys early and no one's available at the end of the game. If you want your starters out there and you want them playing hard and things like that, make home court advantage in the finals on the line. I guarantee you guys will want to play for that. Money, of course, is an incentive there as well, but these guys are making $40, $50, $60 million a year. Make them play for something that means something later on in the year. I think home court advantage should be it. I think that's an easy solution where a lot of the top guys are on good teams and they will want to compete for that. But I guess we'll see how this thing goes.
I'm so lost. Shally, do you have any hope for the NBA All-Star game?
No, I don't. It's going to be a long road back for me too, because I mean, even you to a point. I mean, I grew up watching an All-Star game, and it looked like a playoff game, and it was, 2 nights before Larry Bird and Michael Jordan could be trash talking each other, and then the All-Star game would come around, they'd be in the tunnel, they'd be talking shit to Magic, like you're not going to win tonight. Like, if making $60 million a year as a living to play a sport isn't incentive enough for you to go out and play a competitive basketball game for the fans, who are one of the biggest reasons why you can afford these salaries. Nothing changes for me. I'm not going to watch it. The ratings have plummeted the last 10 years. The slam dunk contest isn't anywhere near what it used to be because none of the big guys will do it because they're all too afraid to lose. It's just not the same mindset, man. And again, I think the whole not having, I mean, I guess home court would help a little bit, but you're gonna have guys that are still just gonna be like, you know what, I'm not gonna play. It's a paid vacation for me. My knee's a little bummed. I mean, like you get 30 guys elected to an NBA All-Star roster now, and only 12 of them end up showing up and playing. And the rest of them sit there in street clothes and cheer everybody on for unguarded dunks all game. I don't want to watch it. I have no desire. It's terrible. This isn't going to fix it. Because to Gene's point, you would think maybe a little bit of like some pride would kick in and be like, I don't want to lose to a bunch of foreigners, but it's not going to change because they're not going to play. Nobody cares. They don't care. That's my point too. Listen, like I feel like at this point, the players have told you and shown you they don't give a shit about All-Star Weekend. They don't. Half of them, like I said, half of them don't even want to go. The ones that do go don't play. They've shown you they don't take it serious. They don't want to do it. Either cancel it or just come up with something completely different. Like, nobody watches it. Nobody cares. Like, it's a joke. I don't want to watch people run up and down the court, play no defense, and then once you get to a certain number, be like, all right, the next team that scores, that gets this number wins. Like it's laughable. It's stupid.
I invite anyone to watch the 1991 and the 1993 All-Star games. I invite you to, and just look at the side. It'll be well worth your time. Don't look at who wins. Just go watch them. 1991 NBA All-Star game, 1993. And 1993 went to overtime. Incredible game.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna watch.
92 is the Magic year where Magic went at everybody.
Yeah,
and that was incredible to watch, but that was a blowout. But 1991 and 1993 are two of the best All-Star games you'll ever watch.
It'd literally be like imagining like it's like you think whoever you think the 10 best players are in the NBA right now playing against each other like they were like the losing team got killed. That's what.
I mean, anytime MJ was in the league, you had that type of competitor. Yeah. The guy played 36 minutes in every All-Star game.
Yeah, but everybody did. Like everybody showed up with that. That's what I mean. Like
it's a follow of the leader. That's why Kobe Bryant. That's why I loved Kobe so much, especially near the end of his career. Kobe went out in these games and tried to compete. And one of my favorite moments in the All-Star game was for like, I guess 3-4 minutes. Kobe Bryant just followed LeBron James around every time. He went after him or he smacked the court. He played defense versus him. And it was just compete with me. Let's compete. I love that mentality. I miss that. And been missing in the NBA for a long time.
Yeah, we're never getting it back.
Well, I hope we do. I hope you're wrong. And I hope that
I hope I'm wrong too.
I hope next year, not this year, because it's not going to happen this year. I hope next year the world embarrasses the United States so much that once next year comes around, they're like, this ain't happening again.
I just don't think people realize how big of a deal it used to be. And that is, I think, like back then, like for instance, like the Sixers weren't good, but like me and my friends would get together at somebody's house for 3 straight days.
Yeah.
During NBA All-Star weekend back then, you'd watch the 3-point and the dunk, all the other stuff, and then you'd watch the actual game together. Like it was that big a deal. Like you'd have people like didn't watch the NBA game, were like, I'm going to watch Jordan play against Magic. Like it was that big a deal. And like it's like that's what I mean. Like Jordan didn't care the years he lost to Spud. Like that's what made it great because they all showed up in the dunk contest. Only one person's going to win. Now everybody's got egos. Like, but when you get everybody in the same place at the same time, it becomes electric, and people will talk about it forever. But these guys won't do it. Like,
I hate doing this to you because I know that like your age
I'm good.
is where we're at.
Yeah. What? No, go ahead.
No, I was saying I hate doing this to Cottrell.
No, I know. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not his fault.
He didn't really see it.
No. You're
spitting facts. And I remember those nights. We used to same thing. We used to go over to my friend Jack's house and we used to watch all the festivities, and we would play poker, like literally Texas Hold'em. When it first started, it was like not even fun to play poker. And we were playing like poker games and watching the
we used to play. We would get over early and we would play NBA Jam for money. That's what we would do. And then once that shit started, then we'd turn it off and everybody would sit there. We'd get food and we'd watch it. Like, and again, I don't like being that guy, but that was the golden age of basketball. It just was.
Agreed. Thank you. Sorry. Any final comments, gentlemen?
I have one.
Okay.
No, only other thing that I would just kind of piggyback off of on that though is that did you guys see that the NFL is moving Pro Bowl to the week of the Super Bowl?
Really?
I believe it's on Saturday. So the Super Bowl is obviously on Sunday. They're moving it to the week of the Super Bowl. I don't know if it's on Friday or Saturday, but it's Super Bowl weekend now. They're trying to just shove it in there to see if they can steal some of the shine from the Super Bowl. So I mean, it's obviously it sucks in the NBA, like seeing where the All-Star game is, but it's not even just an NBA issue, which is the point I was going to bring up, is that it's a sports issue. Obviously, baseball is a little bit different because there's really no way to sandbag a baseball All-Star game. But NFL is definitely in a bad spot too, and I feel like this is their last ditch effort. The NBA, I feel like they're just like, okay, let's see if this works. All right, that doesn't work. We'll see if something else works. I think for me, like this is the last possible thing the NFL can do to try and save the Pro Bowl there. So just something I wanted to bring up though, since we were talking about all of the All-Star matchups.
The only reason I would even say remotely it makes sense is everybody hates that off week, and like when you shove the Pro Bowl down everybody's throat for the off week between the championship game and the Super Bowl, I always thought that was part of it. At least if you're going to do it in the same place now and have all those players in town at the same time, people might get a little bit more excited for it. Because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but like after like Thursday, like and Friday, like I don't want to watch any more interviews anymore. Like I'm over the media days, like all that stuff. Like, so like, if you throw that on Saturday, like the day before, it might get more interested. I guess we'll see what happens, but I'm not going to hold my breath for that either.
All right. Well, what was your final thought, Shelley?
I just have a birthday shout out. That's all.
Good.
I won't say how old she is because she'll get mad, but just gonna wish Liz happy birthday. She knows her. Well, Control knows her too. So, but I don't know. It's so weird. Just gonna wish her happy birthday. Not gonna get all mushy with it because she doesn't like everything being out there, but she's just an amazing human being, and I will leave it at that. So, glad she had a good day today.
Happy 35th, Liz. You're awesome. We love you.
She will appreciate that.
No, Liz is awesome. Fucking great.
Happy birthday. Absolutely. Is that why you are on location? You guys
Yes.
want some more
Yes.
fun?
No,
Nice.
we are over.
Oh,
we were
not
at-
somewhere fun. Okay. All right. I'll make sure Liz doesn't hear this part.
No, I'm at the in-laws house so we can have birthday dinner as soon as we get off
Okay.
here. So.
I got you. So it's not so fun at the in-laws. All right. Hey, I'm reading between the lines, Bill. I'm
There you
just saying.
Let's not hold you up, but I do want to give one final shout out. We did this last week, but I want to do it again while you're here. Congratulations, Cottrell and Audia. I know that you guys did that on Saturday. I didn't get the opportunity to do that to your face. I am so happy for you two. I know you guys are going to be phenomenal parents, and I'm absolutely elated for the birth of your child. Congratulations. I love you. I love Audia. And I'm wishing a happy, healthy, and amazing journey.
We appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate it.
Sound like awful parents already. They're waking the kid up on Saturday to make him watch violence.
Sounds like
Terrible.
great parenting. Oh, that's what we
Wake
got
up!
today.
Wake up! Watch this guy punch this guy in the face.
Any
Learn
final thoughts,
something.
Control?
No, I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in this week to Wire2Wire Sports Podcast. Sorry about the Facebook issues, but I appreciate everybody tuned in the chat, came back and forth with YouTube and Twitter and all that jazz. So thank you so much for your support. I'm the NFL genius, Gene Walzak. That's Kent State's own, Cleveland's own, Papa Cottrell, Uncle Shally, Scholastic Shally, Mr. William Shallcroft, and we are signing out.